Hey guys, very good evening and welcome to yet another session of our domain analytics series that is being organized by 360DigiTMG. And for the past few days, we have been discussing about our sports analytics domain. Sorry for the bad food, guys. I'm having a very bad food. So today we will be discussing about the multi-layer perception or previously whatever. In your tensor, multi-layer perceptron are the global approximators and can be trained to implement any given non-linear input-output. In a subsequent testing phase, what happens is they prove their interpolation ability by generalizing even in the sparse data size region. When designing a neural network, specifically deciding for a fixed architecture, performance and computational complexity considerations play a very crucial. And mathematically, it has been proved that even one hidden layer, MLP is able to approximate the mapping of any continuous. So, MLP or multi-layer perceptron defines the most complex architecture of your artificial neural network. It is substantially formed from multiple layers of your puzzle. Now, TensorFlow is a very popular deep learning framework. We all know. So we are talking about your MLPs and what is the situation we are MLP, how can we associate it with our sports and further, MLP networks are used for your supervised learning form. A typical algorithm or a typical learning algorithm for MLP network is also called as a back propagation algorithm. Your MLP or multi-layer perceptron guidance is a feed-forward artificial neural network that generates a set of outputs from a set of inputs. And an MLP is categorized by several layers of input nodes connected as a directed graph between what? Between your input nodes connected as a directed graph between the input and the output. MLP uses your back propagation for training the network. And as we know that MLP is nothing but your deep learning. So the same thing that I was saying. A multi-layer perceptron is a class feed-forward ALU. The term MLP is used ambiguously. Sometimes loosely to any feed-forward ALU. Sometimes it strictly refers to the networks composed of multiple layers of puzzle with threshold activation. The MLP or your multi-layer perceptrons are sometimes referred to as one-neural network, especially when they are having single input. So these are your input, this is your constant, and these are the weights associated. If this is your weighted sum and this is your output. Just a Yeah. So this was about your multi-layer perceptron. Multi-layer perceptron or MLP for short are the classical type of your neural network. They are comprised of one or more layers of neural. Data is fed to the input layer. There may be one or more hidden layers. The same thing that we were seeing back. Providing the levels of abstraction and predictions are made on the output layer, which is also called as music. When we talk about the working of ML, all the inputs, if you are talking about X, these are the inputs. W is nothing but the weight associated with each input. So let us call it as we take all the inputs and multiply with their weights. So the value which you are getting, you are calling it as. Now you are adding all the multiplied values and you are calling them as your weighted sum. Then you apply that weighted sum to the correct activation function. In case of MLP, the decision function is the step. That is how the things work when we talk about them. It is to be noted that weights show the strength of a particular. The weights represent the relative importance of each of the weights to the classification decision. Each layer can have a large number of perceptors, and there can be multiple layers. So the multi-layer perceptron sorry, can quickly become a very complex system. Why? Because you are having multiple layers, as simple as that. The multi-layer perceptron has another more common name, which is called as a neutral. A three-layer MLP, like the demo diagram that we were seeing previously, is called as a non-deep or your shallow neural network. An MLP with four or more layers is called as a deep neural network. Now you people understand what is the difference between your shallow neural network and your deep. One difference between an MLP and a neural network is that in the classic perceptron, the decision function is a step function and the output is binary. In neural networks that evolved from your ML, other activation functions can be used, which result in the output of real, usually between zeros and one, or between -1 and 2. And this allows for the probability-based predictions of classification of items into your multiple layers. Multi-layer perceptron (MLP) is a supplement of your feed-forward neural, and it is consisting of three types. The discussion we were having prior to 3 minutes. So it is having your input layer, it is having your hidden layer, and it is having your output. These are the layers of the pyramid. And now, again, if it is having multiple layers, if it is having a three layer, then it is regarded as a shallow neural network. But if it is having four or more layers, what it will call? We call it as a deep neural network. Now, multi-layer perceptron learning procedure. The MLP learning procedure is that we start with the input layer, propagate the data forward to the output. This step is forward propagation. It is called as forward propagation. Based on the output, you calculate the error, the difference between your your predicted and the known output. And the error needs to be minimized. Obviously, the less the error, the better. So you need to minimize the error. Then you back propagate the error, find its derivative with respect to each weight in the network, and you update them. You keep on updating. You repeat the step 3 times, given over multiple epochs to learn ideal weights. And finally, the output is taken via threshold function to obtain your predicted class. Now, what are the advantages and disadvantages pertaining to your multi-layer person? When we talk about the advantages, it has the capability to learn non-linear models. It has the capability to learn models in the real time, that is online. If we talk about the disadvantages, MLP with hidden layers have a non-convex loss function, where there exists more than one local minimum. Therefore, different random weight initialization. It can lead to what? To different validation accuracy. Your MLP also requires tuning a number of hyperparameters. Yeah, and that could be a big headache, such as the number of hidden neurons, layers, and iteration. These are your disadvantages which are associated with it. And it is also sensitive to your features. MLPs or multi-layer perceptrons are suitable for your classification prediction, where inputs are assigned a class or label. They are also suitable for the regression prediction, where a real value quantity is predicted given a set of inputs. Data is often provided in a tabular format, such as you would see in a CSV file or a spreadsheet. Tabular format. Tabular format means we are having a structured data. So we are using your MLPs for tabular data set, classification prediction problems, regression prediction problems. They are flexible and can be used generally to learn mapping from inputs to knowledge. This flexibility allows them to be applied to other types of data. For example, the pixels of an image. So what it is, if you talk about image, sorry, if you talk about image, this is nothing but unstructured data. The flexibility of MLP. Guys, give me a moment. Let me set some water. Okay. So the flexibility of MLP, it allows to be applied to the other data. We are seeing that mostly it is being used for your tabular format, means your structured data. But if we talk about image, which is an unstructured data, you can use it. The pixels of an image can be reduced down to one long row of data, and it can be feeded up to your image. The words of document can also be reduced. Words of document. Textual data. So the words of a document can also be reduced to one long row of data and fed to your MLP. Even the lag observations for a time series prediction problem can be reduced to a long row of data and can be fed to your MLP. Okay. So here I'm having this particular example related to the sports health management. And this is nothing, guys. Sorry. And this is nothing but, a use case where your NLP was used. So what happened was, okay. So what happened was, since the reform and the opening up with the rapid improvement of your China socio-economic level and the continuous development of modern science and technology, living conditions have actually become more convenient, which has led the people to develop a lifestyle that lacks your physical activity. So, what happens is the health of the citizen can reflect the overall quality of a country. As well. And this is not any biased statement I'm making. This is a factual statement. And maintaining and improving the health of each citizen is also your country's social responsibility. Now, a few years, since few years, I'm not trying to sound political over here, but our current Prime Minister, respected Narendra Modi, he has emphasized a lot, right? The citizens should follow the healthy lifestyle. Even he shared his, photographs while doing the yoga and various activities. So he motivates being the leader of the country. He motivates the citizens of India to follow a healthy life. As a machine learning method that has been continuously developed in the recent years, deep learning has good performance and excellent models in your image recognition, and your time series prediction. So what happens is students are important human resources for country's future. So at present, the overall health of the student is showing a downward trend. I'm talking about a particular case related to your, this was conducted in China. So I'm talking about this case for China. So what happened? At present, the overall health of the students was showing a downward. Therefore, ways to improve the health of the students are particularly important. The physical health system can help students to develop body of physical exercises, healthy lifestyle, establish a correct outlook on them, so on and various sorry. Various things were done, various studies were done to figure out the things, how you can improvise the health of the citizens, how can you work on it, how can you motivate it, what are the insights that you are getting, various things. So what happened was the Chinese government has always attached importance to the health of the student. It has held, countless meetings, issued many government orders and documents, and revised the standards and methods. However, what happened? The physical health of the students that kept on declining for more than and the overall trend has not been effectively curbed. So for many years, they have actively reported college students physical fitness test data in accordance with the time requirement, but all went in. So what happened was, there was a decision made by the Central Committee of the Communist Party of China and the State Council of Deepening Education Reform and Comprehensive Promotion of Qualitative Education, which pointed out that the healthy physical fitness is the basic requisite for your young people and to serve their motherland as well and the people. And it is also, manifestation of the strong vitality in the Chinese nation, so on and so. So a complete sports health management system was created in the sports health management system in your colleges and your. And the idea behind that was to promote the development of sports health education in China and improvise the physical fitness of this. Okay. So what happened was we are trying over here to experiment the design and the research analysis of your sports health management. We use the combination of deep neural networks, sorry, convolutional neural network, CNN, and your multi-layer perceptron. So what we did was we chose your GTSRB as your characteristic image sample for this experiment. And the reason behind choosing it was that it improves the drawbacks of the original part of the image. That the CNN can use that, and in the experiment we are only using your hog and R functions to train the multi-layer perceptron. Because of the multi-layer perceptron produce relatively weak recognition, which makes the experimental results more convincing. The multi-layer perceptron should be trained using the descent method, and the result is shown. It can be seen over here that the resulting data of the three multi-layer perceptron obtained through your hog feature training are similar. The results of your hog 1, hog 2, and hog 3 are all between the range of 4.5 and 7.8. And only the data of HAAR is above your head. Since the HAAR feature is the high dimensional feature and its training and other training needs to use different multi-layer perceptron. So we are not using a R any longer for the experiments. This is one of the use cases. Now let me quickly take you to my Jupyter notebook. And here I am using my multi-layer perceptron on a data, which is nothing but your stats related information. So I've imported my required libraries. I have also imported your MNP classifier. I have imported my training test. I'm importing my confusion matrix and classification. Then I'm importing my data set, and when I say data.head, it is to give me top 5 observation. When I say data.head, it is going to give me my last 5 observations. Now, I wanted to know how many rows and columns are there. So I said data.sheet, and it is going to give me my the rows and columns. When I say data.dtype, it is giving me the variable names and the data types. And I wanted to know in my mean value standard deviation, so I did my data. Then I started with my data pre-processing. I checked for duplicate values. I got 0. Then I'm converting my date into your date time format. So I have my dates, which was initially in this format and I've converted that into date type format. Then I started with my model. So I'm considering all the data before your 1st of January 2020 as your training data. I'm saying take the date which is less than your 2018 January. Sorry, yeah. Whatever values you get, you are storing it in your variable called as string. When you say train.shape, it is variable in this. For getting your top 5 observations, we are saying train.shape. And then I'm taking my testing data over, seeing my top 5 observations. Based on some analysis, on some brainstorming, I found out that I don't need my win and date columns, which are existing in your columns. So I'm dropping them. After dropping, I'm getting my shape of the training data as a 8,476 rows and 8. I'm saying take the values which are into your win column under your training data, store it into wild distribution and give me the shape. I got my shape. I'm taking my win and date, I'm dropping that. Again, I'm getting my testing data shape over it. Again, I'm taking the win column, storing it into your test, wild underscore test, getting the shape. Now I'm importing my standard display. I'm importing my standard display. And I'm saying that when I say SC, your standard display should. I'm taking SC dot fit underscore transform means I want a standard display algorithm to run and do the transformation on your training data. The values which I'm getting is putting it into your text underscore. I'm taking my standard scaler and I'm transforming my testing data also. Values I'm storing into your text underscore. I'm using my multi-layer perceptron classifier. Hidden layer sizes are given as 3. Maximum iteration cycle is 5. Activation. I want this particular algorithm to run whenever I say it. So now I said MLP means I'm wanting this particular function to run on my training data. So I got this problem. I'm trying to get my predicted value also. So I'm saying MLP dot predict. I got my predicted. Now I'm importing my accuracy score, confusion matrix and classification. The accuracy score which I am getting now, I'm doing the model evaluation. And the accuracy score I'm getting this your 82. Confusion matrix you people know about it. And your classification report is giving me 561. So for this particular data set, which I have used, which is nothing but your games stat. And this is for your NBA, National Basketball Association. I have taken the data set for that. So based on that, I have get my multi-layer perceptron analysis. So guys, this is what I wanted to share for today since I'm not very well. So I'm keeping it short. So again, thank you so much for joining, guys. Happy learning, and we will be meeting again very soon. Thank you so much, guys. Have a wonderful evening.